Slightly Unblended, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I'm doing 3 looks with 1 palette, and that palette is the Siria Soto and Gourmande Girls Cosmetics Warriors Wear Pink palette. So if you'd like to see how I got this look and 2 others, then just keep on watching. Okay, neutrals are out of my comfort zone, but this was like quick and fun, and of course it come together quite quickly because its palette blends so beautifully. So I'm gonna kind of stay with these top 2 right here, Faith, Hope, and then I'm gonna use Warrior and Darkness because I want to do like a smoky wing, and then I'm finally gonna use the beautiful bluish shimmer. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm going to start out with the Makeup Shack T65 brush. It is more pencil-like. It's good for doing all this wing action. And my lid is from Gourmande Cosmetics Clean Canvas in Fair. And this is just some eye tape from e.l.f. Cosmetics so that I can have a nice and sharp and quick shadow wing. So, I'm going to take Darkness and I'm going to just start to follow it along the line of the tape and wing it out a little bit. I really feel like I've taken the tape further up than I wanted to, but I will fix that later if I did. Okay, so I'm just going to start to build up that shade and get the shape that I want. And I'm going to connect it, and I'm just going to take it straight downwards into that lash line. And I'm just gonna fill it in and just kind of pack that on. Take it upwards a little bit more. About like that. So now I'm gonna take the Makeup Shack T63 or T66 brush. I've used this so much that it's starting to come off. Luckily, I have like 2 more of these that I can look and see what the name is if that's the case, even though I should have it down by now. But I'm going to take that and more of Darkness and really just pack that shade to build up some drama. Drama. Alright. And I'm going to clean off the T66 brush and go into the shade Warrior. I'm very excited to be filming again. I feel like I haven't since I filmed last week's video. Oh, I'm just going to blend out Darkness with this. And I'm going to take it down into the lash line, but keep it close to and almost on top of Darkness. But I had this past weekend my family reunion, and I got to see some of my cousins that I haven't got to see in a couple of years, and it was a nice time. And yeah, now I feel a little bit refreshed and ready to create again. And I was very nervous about doing a neutral look, but it's a lot of fun because I get to play with shimmers, which is like my favorite thing to do. I know I'm talking too much, and look at this tape. I've had it on for so long and I just keep moving and talking and making faces, and I'm like, but I'm really gonna focus this on top of Darkness, and then I'm gonna take it up a little bit higher. And now I'm gonna switch over to the Makeup Shack T14 brush, and I'm going to make sure that it's nice and cleaned off. Now I'm going to start to take it and diffuse Warrior. Just drag it out a little bit farther. I just want it to be nice and soft. And this one is just quick and simple, and it does take a little bit of going back in to touch things up. Now for a winged eyeshadow, everybody has different eye shapes, so my eye shape might not be the same shape as yours, so you just might want to play around with the shape of it to get it to match your eye shape. So I'm just going to do back and forth windshield wiping motions with the lightest amount of pressure. You just want it to feel like a little tickle on your eye. You see how it's already like kind of smoky and it's like intense right in here, but the upwards it's lighter. That's what we're going for. And I do apologize for being so awkward in that last video. I felt like I had forgotten how to do anything except for like, well, even blending, I was like, okay, am I doing this right? I forgot this. It was just weird. I'm so sorry. Things have been chaotic lately. Okay, really excited. I am going to take this same brush and a little bit of Warrior and just focus it almost on top of darkness. And just kind of pat it, but also like slightly drag it. I feel like it's turning out so cute. I've never been so excited for a neutral look on my eyeballs before. So now that it's like onto the lid a little bit, I'm gonna just kind of bring it up a little bit higher. I'm not gonna take it very far. I'm not even really gonna take it as far as I took darkness just to get it into the lower lash line. Oh, Toot! Did you hear Toot? She's talking about it. She is tired of Artemis trying to get her tail and play with her. She's like, no, it's nap time, not play time. So I'm just going to go back and forth very gently. And now I'm just going to kind of pat, make sure I got the pigment up there. Well, up there. I don't think that's what I meant to say, but I'll go with it. And I'm going to take that T65 brush and a little bit more of darkness to kind of bring it back. And I'm just going to drag it and define it a little bit. And bring it into that lash line. And if this tape does not stay still, I'm just going to go back and forth with it. So I've cleaned off this Makeup Shack T14 brush. This is a really good one for diffusing the shades, kind of blending them out. That way it makes it a little bit lighter so that you have your drama where you want it, but you also don't want any harshness. So when you're diffusing it, brushes like this, or the Makeup Shack T63 brush, this one is less pointed and more kind of domed but fluffier in a sense. I don't know, I really like these two for blending out. And I feel like there's another one. It's a dough color one and a half caked beauty one. I'll come back to that eventually. So I am going to take the shade Faith with the Makeup Shack T14 brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of start in the crease. Just a little bit towards the bridge of my nose. And just lightly wash that through there. Blend it through. Give it a nice little wash of color. And I'm going to just back and forth until I get to Warrior, and then I'm going to, right where it's diffused, start to go back and forth to blend that out for a more seamless blenderoo. Back and forth. Give it a nice blenderoo. And I'm going to take a little bit more Warrior with the same brush, and I'm not worrying about cleaning it off since that's a lighter shade. I'm just going to pat it a little bit to bring it back. Make sure that we have a nice and even blend. So the key to getting a nice even blend is also using really light pressure. And oh my gosh, excuse me, my voice caught. I'm sorry about that. But light pressure and going back in and touching things up and making sure that they're nice and diffused. Just blend in. I like to say that blending is repetitive, but it's worth it. So now I'm going to switch over to the Makeup Shack T63 brush in the shade Hope. And I'm going to use it to really just soften this blend up and make it more seamless. back and forth windshield wiper motions with the lightest amount of pressure. I'm really just gonna focus on making sure that there are no harsh lines. I'm gonna take a little bit more of darkness with the Makeup Shack T14 brush and just touch it up and bring it back. So I'll do the same thing with the Makeup Shack T66 brush because I want the wing bit to be nice and dark and dramatic and bold. I think the word I was actually looking for was bold, but she's all kinds of words. Alright, so with the T14 brush, I'm going to take a little bit more of Warrior and just make sure that that's nice and softened. And bring it back a little bit. Kind of blended, kind of pattern. And with the T63 brush, I'm going to take a little bit more Faith and just really focus it along the edge of Warrior. Alright, so I'm going to start out with this Doe Color number 14 brush, which I think a few weeks ago when I was filming, I could not find this brush. I sat it off to the side and was like, there you are, I've missed you. It's one of my favorite brushes for adding sparkles. So I'm going to go into Siria and I'm going to just pop that on. I'm going to blend it along the edges of these shades. And then I'm going to switch over to my finger and pop it on. This shade is so beautiful. Oh, I just love sparkle so much. So I'm going to take a little bit of Dreamer and do the same thing. I'm just going to pop it on. I'm going to work it into the crease. Kind of pat it along the edges of Siria. So cute. And with the Clionadh DF04 brush, I'm going to take Tears and pop it on the inner corner and kind of just bring it upwards. I'm not going to take it all the way on the inner corner because I'm going to add like the cat eye liner. So I'll go in with a little bit more of it to kind of get it how I want after I do that. But I'm really just kind of extending this more so than I normally would because I want to glow. And glow, glow, glow. Glowing. I like keep looking at the reflex. Okay. Like, they're so pretty. So, now I'm going to take a little bit of darkness on the Anastasia Beverly Hills A14 brush. And this tape is about over me. Just take that. Actually, I'm going to remove it because I'm tired of it too. So, I'm just going to focus a little bit of darkness towards that lash line. Just kind of from almost from the tail of like the liner. I'm going to start and just kind of drag it down and tap it onto that shimmer so that's nice and blended. And I'm going to clean that off and take a little bit more of darkness and just kind of tap it along the edge of the shimmer. Blend it a little bit. And take a little bit more of Faith. Just soften it up a teeny tiny bit. And with the Makeup Shack T65 brush, I'm going to get a little bit more darkness. Just kind of extend it a little bit. And give it a nice little blend. Now I'm going to take some micellar water on a Q-tip and clean up the shadow wing. So my lesson that I learned today is I'm not going to put the tape on at the same time because it doesn't want to last. So I'm just going to take it and clean it up. Alright, I'm going to go to the rest of my face and I'll be right back. Alright, so this is the finished look. What do you think? I want to try this in different ways. Like, it was so quick, and when I had my family reunion, I was like, I had family that spent the night with me the night before, but then I had to get ready, and I overslept, and I was trying to get breakfast for everybody figured out. And I was like, I have to get ready. So I was like trying really hard to put at least purple, since purple's like my neutral. Yeah, so I was like, what can I do quick? I'm gonna try to remember to do like this. I feel like this is kind of what I did, but not quite. Like, there's something different about this. And maybe it's because it's neutral. Neutral intimidates me. I don't know. But what do you think? Is it a cute, sparkly, neutral moment? Okay, I am gonna go ahead and go do the next look, and I'll see you in just a second. Hey, so I thought something sparkly and extra would be a lot of fun. So I'm taking Amore and the Makeup Shack T66 brush, and I'm packing it onto the outer corner of my lid and running it through the crease, building up my shape. Getting it nice and built up. I know I just said built up. I need to find better words. Maybe I need to read a dictionary. I don't know. But anyway, I'm taking that and I'm getting it all on that outer corner of my eye and taking it slightly onto my lid. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm talking so fast. I kind of am. I don't know why I feel like I'm so rushed when I'm doing these. I need to figure out how to kind of slow it down a little bit. So I'm really just kind of packing that shade into the crease and getting that color nice and built up and going back and forth with it. Not being super precise with it, just really focusing on getting the shape. I want it to be nice and rounded. Now with the Makeup Shack T63 brush, I'm going to diffuse Amore, doing back and forth windshield wiping motions just to give it a nice little softened blend to make it nice and easy to pack on more shades and give dimension and depth. With the Makeup Shack T14 brush and the shade Life, I'm going to blend out Amore by patting Life on the diffused edges of Amore, and then I'm going to do back and forth windshield wiping motions with the lightest amount of pressure. I'm touching up Amore to bring it back just a little bit so all the shades have their moment. They're all so beautiful, and I want to make sure that they are nice and packed down and evenly blended and just have their moment to be the focus of the look. I felt like this was so much fun to do. I love to be extra and sparkly. With the Makeup Shack T14 brush, I'm going to blend out Life with Hope, doing back and forth windshield wiping motions with the lightest amount of pressure. So when you get Life blended out with Hope and you feel like Life is just like too light and you would like it to be more defined, then you can go back in with Life and touch it up, and then just keep going back and forth between Life and Hope and blending them until you get it to be the color payoff that you would like and as diffused as you would like. So now I'm going to go back into Life to touch it up and bring it back a little bit because I felt like I lost a little bit of it, but that's just how blending goes. Blending is repetitive, but it's worth it. With the Makeup Shack T63 brush, I'm going to soften the blend with Hope again. I'm just going back and forth between the shades just to make sure that I have a nice and even blend and everything is not harsh. You don't want any harshness. Now, to clean the lid, I'm taking some micellar water on a Q-tip, and I'm going to clean off the lid and get it ready to carve out my crease with the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas in Fair. I like to do it this way, that way when I put the clean canvas down, it stays more true to the fair shade. That way the colors are more true to the actual colors, if that makes sense. That way they don't kind of like jumble together. With the Cleona DF04 brush, I'm taking Familia and adding it onto my lid until I realized that I actually meant to pat more along the edge of the base because I jumped ahead of myself. But I do add Familia to the third of my lid, and then I add Dreams onto the center of the lid before I add Tears to the inner third of my lid. That way our lid is nice and sparkly and a little shifty and has the gorgeous reflex, and we can just be as extra as we feel like being, and I'm all about being sparkly and extra and doing the most. With the Makeup Shack T65 brush and Amore, I'm going to define the depth in the crease with Amore gently because I did lose a little bit of the depth and I want to bring it back just a little bit, so I'm being very, very careful while I do this. And if you hear Biggie and Artie playing, Biggie is getting annoyed with him. Let's doodle some gleams. I'm doing like a quarter circle and extending the tip. And from the tip, I'm extending the foot from the opposite side. And from the feet, I'm going to angle the foot inwards, making a point downwards. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's kind of like you're doing a diamond, but like giving it extra long arms and a long point and a long bottom point. I love to use water activated liner for this and tiny nail brushes. A baby just hissed at Artemis. That is not very nice, boo. No hiss at the baby. Him just wants to play. Okay, so anyway, I'm drawing the foot and extending it outward. Then I'm going to take the foot, extend it outwards, and then kind of start to bring it in and angle it down. Kind of just like doing it upside down and then just making sure that it's all even. Feel free to add as many gleams as you'd like, or as little. You don't have to add them if you don't want to. I found my gleam glitter on Amazon, so I'm adding some of those here in a little bit with some gems. So if you don't feel like drawing the gleams, then there are glitters on Amazon that you can order. I got mine there. I had extra colors, like other colors, but I lost them somehow. So I was very lucky that I found my pink ones because I thought I lost them. I lost my purple ones, so I need to find them and order some more. I will try to look for the link, and I'll try to put it in the description box if you're interested. So the gems that I'll be using are for my collaboration with Manic Gems, the Spaced Out gem pack. So I'm using some eyelash glue and just dotting it on, and that's where I'm going to add the glitters and the gems. And this is the BH Cosmetics Exigate Stone gem tool I got from them several years ago, but it's got like the waxy tip, that way you can just pick it up with it easily and just place it right on the glue, and voila, you're extra. This look was so much fun, and I felt like it didn't take me as long as I thought it would. I really liked it. What do you think of it? Alright, I'm going to go do the rest of my face, and I'll be right back. This is the finished look. What do you think? I really love how the gleams and the glitter and the gems really just kind of like outline the beautiful shimmers and kind of give them their moment. I feel like this is just a vibe, and I don't know, I just have so much fun. I have hairs all over. Why is this always something that happens? I always have hair stuck to the side of my face. I always have so much fun drawing the little gleams. They're so much fun, and like since I've been doing them more, I feel like I finally got the hang of them, so it doesn't stress me out to do them as much. But I set my mind to learning how to do them. I still could use some practice, but it's a little easier for me to just kind of draw them on real quick now. But these shades and the Warriors Wear Pink palette together, the colors for this, I love. So I want to do like a monochromatic look for this one, and I think for the next one, it might be before this, it might be after this. This is probably going to be the center of the video, the second look, because voiceover. But I'm looking forward to doing like maybe a spicy neutral, or something with like maybe like a split halo eye or something like that. I don't know, I'm brainstorming right now, but yeah. Anyway, what do you think of this look? Which look is your favorite so far? And I'll see you in just a second. Hey, so I did a look yesterday. I started, and then my memory card ran out, and I did not have one, and I was exhausted. So figured, why not do a look inspired by my best friend Slay with Desiree? So I'm gonna start out with, I'm always the worst about putting my brushes right in front of me, but then I can't find them. But this is the Makeup Shack T65 brush. I'm gonna clean it off real quick because I realized that I didn't. I'm bad about that. Hopefully today will be brush cleaning day though. So I'm gonna start out with darkness. What I'm gonna do is from the outer corner of my eye, I'm just gonna do a wing. And I'm going to connect that wing all the way across. I will have Desiree's Instagram in the description box down below. She's amazing. So I'm just starting to line my lid for a nice smoky wing. And I'm not like super worried about going in and having it super pigmented right now. I'm just focusing on the shape. And I am gonna do that inner corner cat eye. Really honestly starting to do it with a black eyeshadow or whatever eyeliner you're gonna use for it. It's an easy way to map it out. That's how I learned. Just like I used eyeshadow and a tiny brush and then cleaned it up because I got messy with it, and then I would go over it with eyeliner. Really helped me learn how to do this with liner. Not gonna use liner today though. I just want to stick with this beautiful palette. Okay, I'm gonna extend that just a little bit, and like that. I'm going to take the Makeup Shack T66 brush in the shade More and blend that out with it. Need to replace my little sponge that I clean my brushes off with. I was getting some sponge out with it. So what I'm going to do is about right on top and a little above darkness, I'm just going to start to kind of blend it out. Back and forth windshield wiping motions. This is a nice and kind of like vampy kind of look, I feel like, but the pink really I love the pink. I feel like I don't give pink its own moment enough, and I do apologize for my voice. I don't know what it is with the allergies in Arkansas this year, but they're so bad. Like when I went to the doctor, when my voice was messed up a couple weeks ago, the doctor told me like, yeah, this year it's really bad. And I was like, I believe you. I promise. So my voice is getting all wonky again, so I apologize for that. Now with that same brush, I'm going to take a little bit more of darkness and really just start to bring it back. I'm kind of just going to pat it down, which means I'm going to dip back into the palette a little bit more. But I want a nice and intense smoky wing. So I'm just packing that down there. What did you think of the other two looks? I've really had such a fun time creating all these looks with this beautiful palette. Now I'm just going to go back and forth and just get that blended with Amore. And I'm going to take this dough color number 11 brush and a little bit more of Amore and really just start to bring it back a little bit, back and forth, just slightly above where it left off. Maybe here in a little bit, if I can remember, I can bring Artemis in here and y'all can see my Artie baby. The other night, I do have to tell you, so really right now, all I'm doing is focusing on blending Amore with darkness, and I will go back in and touch any of them up momentarily. But the other night, I almost cried, just like the happiest of tears, because I fell asleep on the couch at like 9 p.m. I was exhausted. And I went and I got a bath and was getting ready to go to bed. And I was like, oh, Artemis is still asleep on the couch with Ginger and Biggie. Yeah, because Floof was in the bed already. That's what it was. Okay. Trying to keep track, everybody. So I went and I got him. And when I went in there, the other cats followed me. But I carried him. I was like, come on, little baby. And I brought him into the bed. And he laid with me and was big purring. And I was like, you're gonna make me cry. I was so happy. And then he like moved. And my husband was like asleep. And he like had his legs up. And then like I saw his legs going over. And I was like, oh, get the baby. So that his legs didn't go on the baby. And then I put him beside me. And then he moved up onto my pillow and laid on my head and just purred. And I just wanted to my heart was melted. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm rambling too much, but I just had to tell you like how happy Artemis has made me, because I don't know where I'd be right now without him. This is the Makeup Shack T63 brush, and I'm going to take the shade Siria, and I'm going to blend out more with it. Just, oh yeah, look at that pigment. Love, love, love. Back and forth. I've really been loving winged out looks lately. So like the first look, because I'm pretty sure this will be the third look. The neutral look was a lot of fun, and then yesterday when I had all the issues that I was having with my memory card being out and everything just kind of being like bleh, I wiped off the look that I had started, because at that point I was like, I want to go lay in the bed under the blanket and cry. But then I was like, no, I'm going to go get a memory card later, so I want to do something like super quick, because I'd already got a late start of the day anyway. And I'm going back and forth with this with light pressure, just making sure I get that shape built up. Go in and touch everything up here in just a little bit. But I did a winged out look, and I used some multi-chromes, and I was really like, this takes not a lot of time, and it's a lot of fun, and like it's colorful. And then I added some gleams, and then I added some stars. And if I wouldn't have done that, it wouldn't have taken me so long. But every time I sit down and I see my eyeliner, I'm like, I want to doodle. So winged out looks have been having a hold on me lately. I'm gonna touch up more with the same brush real quick. I'm just gonna get it nice and pat it on, pack that shade down. This is almost giving me like makeup that I would have loved to have worn when I was a teenager, had I had any clue on how to do anything with makeup. Because purple's always been my favorite color, but to me, like when I was younger, hot pink and black were like, yes, like I wanted to have like the graffiti skulls and stuff like that on my wall, but hot pink and black, like, so this is just kind of giving me that. A little nostalgia. I just now remembered that when I went to the beach in November, I filmed for a vlog. I need to get on that sometime. I'm very forgetful. So I've cleaned that brush off, and I'm going to touch Siria up real quick. So I'm just touching Siria up. Now I'm going to blend that out with Susie, which is a beautiful soft pink, which I kind of want to use as a blush. I don't know, I'm already planning on using Dreams for my highlighter today, because I used it for my brow bone highlight, and I was just like, I really feel like that would just be such a pretty shade to use as a highlighter as well. So I might do that, and maybe eventually I'll try Susie as a blush, because it's so pretty. It's like my favorite shade for a soft blush. What my favorite like shade of pink for like a soft blush. Back and forth, windshield wipe emotions with the lightest amount of pressure. And if we lose some of Siria, we can go in and touch it up. Blending is repetitive, but it's worth it. So with the Makeup Shack T63 brush, I'm going to take Hope to kind of soften this blend up. Do y'all have any plans for, like, I know this is going up on a Sunday, so I would ask your weekend plans. Do you have any, like, plans for this week that's coming up, or the upcoming weekend? I'm interested in knowing. I hope I can get to the beach sometime. Because the beach is always... Oh, I'm touching up Siria. The beach is always like that nice, like, for me feeling where I feel like I can just kind of have a little peace. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, or if that's even like what I'm like meaning, but I feel like I can reset a little bit at the beach, which is like the main reason why in November my husband and I went, was because everything that went on with Shemark was like a lot, and I was just sad all the time, so he was like, let's go to the beach. So we went to the beach. I was like, okay. It was a nice time though. Alright. So with the Cleona DF04 brush, I think, oh, no, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'm going to take that dough color number 11 brush and go into a little bit more of darkness and bring it back. And it can be messy towards this outer corner because I'm going to take some micellar water on a Q-tip to sharpen it up. And once you're happy with the blend, then you can go ahead and... There's already fur flying. His fur's so long. Anyway, you can take your micellar water on a Q-tip or whatever you use to clean up this outer corner and do that. But before I do that, I'm going to take the Cleona DF04 brush and the shade Dreams. And I'm going to use that as my brow highlighter. Sparkler. I love to sparkle. And I took too much, but it's okay. I'm just going to touch that up with a little bit of, if I can find the brush. Ah! I keep grabbing the wrong brushes. With a little bit of Hope. Just kind of blend that, pat it along there. Now I'm going to take some micellar water on a Q-tip and sharpen this up. Okay, so now I'm going to doodle some gleams, add some gleam glitter that I found on Amazon, use some of the Manic Gems in my collection from the Spaced Out collection, and the little baby pink one is from the Mania Rhinestone pack. So I'm just going to not talk through this, otherwise I will mess up worse than I've already messed up on the gleams today. I don't know what my issue is today with like doodling, but I struggled on this one. I was like, okay, it's gonna be one of those days. Alright, I'm gonna go do the rest of my face and I'll be right back. Alright, so this is the finished look. What do you think? Which of the three are your favorites? And since I feel like I've rambled a lot, I'm going to include the swatches right here. Aren't they so pretty? This palette is amazing. Like, congratulations to Siria and to Gourmande Girls on this beautiful palette. I love it so much. It's definitely just so dreamy. I love the message. I love the colors. Everything about it is just amazing. And I feel like I forgot something, but my mind is just jumbled right now. But which of the three looks is your favorite? Are there any more looks that you would like to see me do with this palette on my channel? Because I'd be willing to do that. That'd be a lot of fun. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments down below. If you'd like to keep up with my awkward face and shenanigans while I'm not here on YouTube, I have all my social medias linked in the description box down below. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I'll see you in the next one. Bye!